أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Zed Ali Al Sagaf and welcome to the Habib AI series episode 2. Today we're going to talk about, how we can actually transform or wowify our graphics using ChatGPT from before to after and make them exciting and engaging and fun. So let's see how we can do that. Interestingly, before I actually made this presentation, I shared with ChatGPT the title of my presentation and asked them, can you produce a slide for me to represent the title of my presentation? And this is what it came up with. Do you like it? Well, you can see here they gave me a white man and they gave me before and after, a lot of text, and yeah, it looks nice, it's not bad, but to me I got a problem with it because I don't like to use too much people, because if you use a white man, then the black man say, why are you using a black man, or the Indian or the Chinese or the Malay or whatever, Arabs, so when you use people, always become this, especially now we're all so sensitive and it's canceling culture, so I decided, ChatGPT gave me this, it's okay, but let's see what ChatGPT can do for me more. And I was thinking about another creature we can use instead of the human being. So I was thinking, okay, not a human being, what kind of animal can we use for this presentation to represent before and after? And I was thinking, what kind of creature can we use for that? That's perfect for that. And what else than the panda? Yeah, the panda. So this is before and after. But you notice here, the label after is disappearing. So this is, you have to keep in mind when you use ChatGPT, it's much more human than it's robotic, because it forgets things and it does mistakes basically all the time, especially when you do image. It's like working with a graphic designer. You ask the graphic designer to change something, you change something, but then something gets lost. I used to have so many problems with that when I was in instructional designing, working with graphic designers. They're great at graphics, but they're not very good with words. And AI at the moment is very bad sometimes with the text. But what I like about the panda is very nice. Yes, it's falling asleep, and this is so boring, and then it becomes so exciting here. But I said, let's spice it up with it. So I told ChatGPT, please, can you add some... So I was thinking, maybe I can spice it up with some anime style, maybe anime fusion with Pixar and Ghibli style. So let's do that, and this is what it came up with. Wow! And this is good enough for me, so this became my cover slide, before and after. And it came back, and then the word after came back. So he remembered the word in the third time iteration of the image. So this image is so beautiful, like he's falling asleep somewhere, and then suddenly the slide's becoming so excited, and he becomes exciting. Okay, now we're in the ChatGPT interface. I've gone to in my projects, I have infographics. One of them is WOWify infographics. Okay, so here I am. This is how actually I created those images that you just saw. So basically I was trying to create an image for my cover slide, right? And the original title, this is not the title now, but the original title was WOWify boring infographics in ChatGPT. Even the spelling, it doesn't matter, it understands that. So then you visualize in terms of text, this is what he recommends to do, the image prompt, to get the image that he thinks would be best for me, blah, blah, blah. And he asked me, do you want me to a presentation slide or social media post and posters? I said, image for a presentation slide. So this is what he suggested. And remember, we talked about, I was not too happy with it. So before and after, no text. I don't want to have text. I want to make it more visual. And I want a panda falling asleep. This is what I'm telling him, boring infographic. And then super awake, energized by the new infographic. It's just normal language. It's just telling it. And this is where it came up, which is really cool, right? And I said, maybe I want to change a fusion of Pixar, anime, and Ghibli style. And this is what it came out. So this is basically what I did to create the graphics. And the thing is, you can do this very easily also if you use just the human language, but you understand, which I'm going to tell you, is about visual image styles. Okay, let's see. Following up on episode 1, we talked about infographics, right? So let's see, how can we really make it juicy, right? Make it really juicy. So here is an example. This is an infographic I actually found online. It's quite nice. I mean, in the past it would be like, wow, this is amazing, right? So let's see what we can do with this. And the key here is, when you have any visual that you want to improve, you just need to actually have it in the image file and upload it to ChatGPT, and then you can do the magic. So let's see what we can do with this. It's already a nice actually infographic, but let's make it more exciting. Okay, so remember in episode 1, if you watch episode 1, I said you can just upload a visual, in this case an infographic, and just say make it better. So that's what I said. I told to make it better, and that's also I said actually to add some colors to it. And this is what it came out. Not bad from the previous one. It's okay, it's an improvement. And then I said, okay, let's use, because we know that they can do all this Pixar and anime, you can do all these pictures, right? Images of your own pictures. Let's do that inside an infographic. So I said, add Pixar anime style, and this is what it came out. Wow! I said, now we're getting some of this. This looks really professional, right? And then I said, oh, now I got excited. I said, okay, let's add Ghibli style, and this is what it came up with. Now I'm even more excited. Let's explore some more. And then I said, let's try the big one, Disney style. And this is what it came out of them. This is getting just more and more wow, wow. And then I added cyberpunk style. And I said, how many visual styles do they have? And then I found another one, low poly art. Whew. But keep in mind here, this is very interesting to keep in mind. When you change your image style, sometimes the text start falling out. This is the thing with AI that is so human. It does this mistake. Sometimes words disappear. So when you do any change of images using any style, you better always check, is the text still there? And if it's not still, you have to tell AI, please, I want my text. And now I was like, this is crazy. So I want to look for more styles. I kept on looking for styles. I searched ChatGPT, more styles. Then I did Islamic art style. I'm a Muslim. This is Islamic art style. Come on. Then I did Chinese ink wash painting style. And then I added Japanese. I can't even pronounce that word. And you can see this is just amazing, right? And then I dig deeper. And where else? African tribal style art. Oh, yeah. Oh, I like that. Then what about pop art? How can I forget pop art, right? And then had 3D render CG style. How many styles are there? And that's when I used ChatGPT to go deeper to find actually how many. Give me a list of the amount of styles of visual image styles that you have. And then I asked myself, how many visual image styles can ChatGPT generate based on your wishes? And I kept on searching, and then I look deeper and I can find, there were many popular artistic styles. And you can see very funny here, again, spelling errors as they do. I'm just going to show you so you understand that when you use ChatGPT or any image tool, you always have to check the text. But you can always tell it to update, so it's not an issue. But here are some of the styles that it can do. And I dig deeper, and it had realism styles, comic book styles, manga, chippy. So these are all things you can just mention. You can just go to ChatGPT and mention it, and it will produce you the graphic based on what you want. Okay, here are more styles, minimalist style and abstract styles. I can say paper, kufut style, I think it's cutout style. This is again where you really have to check the text when you do art, and then maybe just avoid text. And I'll tell you, actually good strategy is just to avoid sometimes text, just asking to do the image, and then you add the text in PowerPoint or whatever tool using Photoshop's on. These we already talked about, we've seen examples, these three. Then you have Memphis design, Indian miniature style, wow. And then you have, as we mentioned, claymation, papercraft style, Memphis decision style, vintage poster. How many styles do they have? And then you have fantasy and sci-fi styles, if that's how you pronounce it. And then you have ink, I think it should be ink drawing. See, this is again where you have to watch out with ChatGPT or all the image generated. They always sometimes mess up the words. Steampunk, we talk about flat dolly art, isometric, geometric. Is that how you spell geometric? Okay. Anyway, to be honest, the panda now is shocked that in ChatGPT itself, you can create images with so many styles. You can imagine your own graphics, infographics, or whatever graphics you need to produce for your slides. You can do the most amazing kind of styles. But how many styles do you have? Let's go into ChatGPT and find out. Okay, we're back in ChatGPT interface. I want you to see how I use ChatGPT to do the things that I do. And here we are talking about image styles. So he asked, what type of image styles can ChatGPT new image generator do? Provide a list with sample prompts. So here it provides a list of 12 different image styles it can do, which is amazing. If you can do 12, that means your graphics you can transform 12 different ways. And actually, if you combine them, we're talking about many, many, many more ways. If you combine watercoloring and surreal together, you can do that. So then we're talking about thousands of styles mixing from different angles, right? 12 styles is more than enough for me. But then I kept on going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Okay, here are the 12 styles examples. I tried to visualize it. This came out the visuals here without labels. And I asked him to label it. Yeah, you can see here. These are some images I did not share with you because they were kind of broken. All that, but quite nice, right? And then I dig deeper and deeper and said, that's enough. I want to find out. Let's find out. List all the image styles available in ChatGPT. and it started listing one by one by one by one by one, and now it had reached 30 styles. I said, that's more than enough for me. These are all including the African tribal style, as I mentioned. But you know what? I've learned something about ChatGPT. It gives you layers upon layers, and then the deeper you dig, especially in the commercial version, I don't know about the free version anymore because I'm using the commercial. I asked him, I said, okay, this is the list of you gave me the full list, but maybe there's more. So I asked him, more styles, question mark, and you know what happened? He gave me more styles. 31, 32, 33, and it went on to the break of dawn, and we have it here, 54 styles, ending with pop art. Pop art should be high on the list, but anyway. So pop art style. So now I've got 54 different styles to play around with, and you've seen some of the images, which is just totally amazing, right? And now to be honest, now you have this list, which I'm going to make available to you in a PDF file, or you can convert to it. Now you can just copy paste one of those visual styles and put it to your image, and it will transform your image according to that style. Okay, isn't that amazing? Here's the visual. So there's so many things you can learn from this. So now we know there are actually 54 guaranteed 54 different visual image styles that you can generate through your graphics or your infographics in ChatGPT. There are probably more, but I just stopped here. Okay, if I dig, I probably find more, but it's okay. So I made a PDF file that you can download. The link is there. Of course, you cannot see the slide. I made this link available in the YouTube video description. You just get it from there. And if you want it now, you're impatient, you can just scan this code and you can have access to this list of 54. And good luck with your image creation. Just as I told you again, unless you create the image in ChatGPT, you can just take a picture of your image, upload it, and ask you, and just put a word cyberpunk style. Image cyberpunk style, or just put cyberpunk style, and ChatGPT will create an image based on that style that you have chosen. All the best with that. In addition to the visual image styles list, I'm making here available my webinar, which I did to the Institute of Marketing Malaysia on the 22nd of March. I talked about a crash course in ChatGPT, where I explore how you can use it for personal productivity, creativity, and lifelong learning. Now you can download here. Okay, sorry, here's the QR code because the links is not so easy to access. You can scan this now and watch the thing. It's about 1.5 hours, but it's quite long, so you might not want to watch everything. But more importantly, what I do is the first 5 to 10 minutes I talk about art. And if you want to know, which is related to this, if you just want to watch that, I recommend at least you watch that part, the first 5 to 10 minutes. Now, secondly, let's just talk about this art thing. Now, as an artist, I wouldn't consider myself artist, but I grew up in an artist world. My mother is an artist. My uncle is an artist. My uncle that passed away is an artist. I've tried art myself. Even the last few years, I've done digital art, and I've also done a lot of drawing on pencil and paper. I never enjoyed painting, but I enjoyed drawing. So I can feel with you, because basically what AI can do in 5 seconds, you might take a year to do, even when it comes to paintings like the one that you're seeing now off the screen in a creative way. Now, what to do? What are you going to do now? Now, first of all, you must realize, which I'm going to come back to when it comes to the game of chess, which had this discovery Sputnik moment in 1997. I think 2025 is the moment that many artists realize that AI can do a lot of type of artwork better than any probably human being on this planet. Now, why is that so? You have to understand, because I've also in the area of creativity, I know thinking tools. I mean, I've been teaching critical thinking, creative thinking since I started already in 2006 getting into this area. Oh, yeah, was it early 2005? Maybe there. Okay. Now, first you must understand what AI does. It converts everything into numbers, whether it's images, text, or audio. Now, when it converts to numbers, it also has algorithms. So in other words, it can understand. In its algorithms, it can understand from the best artists in the world, from Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael, Picasso, Van Gogh, whatever artist you have, it's already inbuilt in the system based on algorithms. It understands it can create that kind of art on the fly. Now, is that bad for us or is that good for us? Let's explore that. To relate to this, I want to talk about chess, because chess in 1997, the best player, Kasparov, he lost against Deep Blue, which is an AI tool or AI generated system that could play chess, and he beat him in 1997 already. That's nearly 30 years ago. So chess has The AI has been better than the best chess player in the world since 1997. What has happened with the market? This is an example. You can see here. In 1997, the chess market was only 50 million roughly. Now it's 6 billion. That is an increase of 11,900%. If you don't understand, it's about 100, roughly 120 times the market has grown. So the business has grown tremendously. Today, Magnus Carlsen doesn't even like to play with his handphone computer because he knows he can beat him anytime. But do people actually want to watch AI play against other AI chess? I mean, today chess is more popular than ever. Have you ever seen anybody watching two AIs playing it out in a game? No, we want to watch humans because we are humans. And I think the same thing with art is going to happen. Not the same, but similar. Yes, AI can create better art than us. So what? I like AI art in certain aspects. Another aspect is, no, I want to buy real art. I want to use AI. I appreciate the human thing. And what AI is going to do is going to bring the interest into art, because people want to learn about art so they can develop art themselves. So you'll have this huge growth. Literally millions and millions of people are discovering art in the next few months, years, like me, and just different image styles or visual styles, and they're learning about art because they need to learn about art to develop these things, these images in the slides and the presentations and infographics and so on. And that's going to drive their interest. At the end of the time, it's going to be overloaded with AI images, and that is when people are going to start again appreciating what humans are doing. Already appreciating. We love AI is okay, but I want human art. Invest. So especially people involved in painting, sculpturing. I think the growth is going to be tremendous over the next years. You might think you're going to lose your job. No, but we're going to stop now. In the next episode, I am going to share with you how, and you as an artist, if you're an artist, can use AI to become a better artist. How you can use it as a tool to become a better artist. I'm going to share that in the next episode. Of course, you might be against it creating images, but you can also use it to get feedback for your art. And I'm going to show you how you can do that in the next episode. In the meantime, keep in mind that you have basically two options. You have one option is to ignore AI and scream at it and sulk and so on. I don't know how much you can get done then. The other option is, let's figure out AI. Let's get into the AI community and work with them and discuss with them, because you can set rules in AI. Because if you look at different apps from Grout to ChatGPT to other AI image generating tools, they have rules and regulations. Some of them allow you to do basically copy 100% common art or use Michael Jackson dancing with a chicken or something, and some has rules. ChatGPT actually has some rules when it comes to image generation. You can't do certain things, especially in terms of religious blasphemy or even just copying Picasso. You cannot just do like that. There are some regulations, but it can be improved. And this is where artists should come in and set the rules and regulations. But don't think that AI is just going to disappear, because AI is like electricity was in the early 19th century. It's going to be there, and it's going to increase, and it's going to get more powerful. And you can see that with the computer, it doesn't disappear. Internet disappear. You always get discouraged by new technology. Don't be discouraged and embrace it. I'm not saying be positive about it. Discover it. At least use it to assess, which I'm going to talk about in the next episode, how you can use it to become a better artist. Okay, I'm sorry whatever I said. If I said anything bad and upset you, I'm sorry about that. But inshallah, in the next episode, I'm going to address the artist again and talk about how you can use AI to become a better artist. Okay, thank you very much. Inshallah, all the best in your adventure and using all these visual image styles, and take care. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.